afternoon from sunny Essex. As the weather's so fantastically good, I brought a few bits out of the garden to take a picture and do a very quick video on. And this is a brand I often wax lyrical about, and it's Dragon Wings or Dragon Warbirds, whatever way you want to call them. And this is the famed P51D of an aircraft representing the 375th Fighter Squadron or 361st Fighter Group, 8th Air Force. And this has also been done in like a blue colour, which I'm actually getting soon from Gary, who helps run the page. But I'm going to talk a little bit about it and some of the benefits and obviously some of the negatives as well. So I often go on about this being the best P51D mould out there, alongside the Gemini P51B and C series. And it is brilliant, absolutely fantastic. Some of the bonuses with it, obviously you've got the sliding canopy out. I'm not going to touch anything in case anything falls off. And of course you've got the movable flaps there, which Corgi have replicated in their new mould, which is sort of comparable in terms of how good it is, but they've used a different style. So this is actually a sort of, you can move them up and down, and Corgi have done a fixed down and a fixed up version. In terms of the mould, it's really crisp, but there's no sort of gaps or anything like that. But it's just great. It's just such a lovely looking piece of kit. And it wasn't really till Corgi sort of nailed the new mould that it had any sort of competition in the market, because the previous Corgi mould was gappy, especially at the front, because the engine cover could come up, so there's a big old gap between that and the cockpit. But yeah, it's fantastic. It's a really lovely piece of kit. But also it has its negatives, which I'll now cover. So with every good review, there has to be some negatives as well, and there are some quite big negatives with the Dragon Warbird series. And the main thing being is what I call or refer to, as many times you probably would have seen it or heard me, was the dreaded pingy part. So when it comes in the packaging, it comes pretty much disassembled in the sense that the airframe's all together with the cockpit on in this case. But with like the P47s, you have an open and closed cockpit sections, which are fiddly to fit at best. So the bits you need to fit are the aerial there. The propeller comes separate as well. All the undercarriage, so the undercarriage doors, the undercarriage, and of course the fuel tanks. And it is a real pain to put together. Not only is it just fiddly because of the size of the aircraft, this 172, but in this case this is pretty much held together with blue tack underneath. Not the aerial. The aerial fits in quite nice and snug, and a little bit of glue or whatever on that would be absolutely fine, but I wouldn't recommend using super glue on this, because once you put it in place, that's it, you can only display it wheels down. And you know, it's really held together with blue tack. I mean, a lot of people use white glue. I know Gary uses hot glue, like a hot glue gun, because it comes off in one whole piece. But for me, blue tack's the perfect solution, and I've used quite a bit underneath this one. You can probably see little dips and dabs. I found a bit on the fuselage just before I started the video, so I had to remove it. But it is held up by it, and I'll tidy it up once I put it on display. But one thing you don't want to do, especially if you've got lots of aircraft on display, is to keep going in and moving one, because you move one, you hit another one, it falls off, and you've got domino effects, and half your models need them repairing. But despite that, it is without doubt for me the best P51D mould. It's just great. I mean, the open cockpit's a really nice little touch, and that's just literally, it is a sliding option on this one. Like I said, the P47 has two separate versions, an open or closed, but I think it's a nice touch. It doesn't come with a pilot, which is a little bit of a pain if you're putting it in flight mode, but you know, if you purchase a Hobby Master World War II pilot, you can stick him in there. And the other big problem I found with these, and I do find this with Dragon Warbirds in general, is the undercarriage is a bit of a pain. To say the least, and it can be a bit of a pain in the backside. But the undercarriage doors come off on the right side of this one. As I was putting it in, it just literally fell off. It just needs a dab of glue to get it back on there again. But again, just another little bit of pain for you to do. But it also comes with this here. And as I read, obviously, you know, when you put together a few planes over the years, it's quite simple, you know where things go. However, the key bit for me there is at 2002. So in 18 years, it's taken a long time for an aircraft or a mould to catch up with this. It shows you how good they really were. I mean, you know, they're great models. The P47s by Dragon are probably, well, they are the best in their genre. You know, there's lovely Stuka, which I'm yet to get hold of, and of course a beautiful Corsair. Not forgetting the Spitfire, not forgetting the ME109 as well. There's some great models out there. Wildcat, Hellcat. No, there's lots and lots of nice bits, and it's such a shame they no longer make models. But there you go. So I'm looking forward to getting this one in blue as being its sort of partner in crime. I think it was a special edition one because there was a lot of question marks raised as to whether it was green or blue. Nobody could tell. And I think probably the best example of that is the aircraft Lu 4. If anyone's ever seen that, there's different versions in green and there's different versions in blue because there's no definitive answer. And there was a most recent one put together and it looks really, really nice. But that's a great example there of someone reacting to something and doing a limited edition version. So yeah, that's the Dragon P51D. So that's the review for today, and the reason I'm back on the video is just to give you a bit of an update on the Corgi Q&A. So I've spoken to Michael this morning and I'm picking up a call with him this evening in terms of where we're going and when we're going to do it. So hopefully in the next few days, so keep an eye out on the page, Instagram and on YouTube of course. Once you watch the video for that'll be recorded and put on all the formats. Please no more questions. We've got lots and lots of questions to ask. Probably a good bit of timing as the Lancasters, the new PA474 has been delivered today to a lot of homes around the UK. I was very lucky for Father's Day. Rafe and Sasha bought me the Meteor V1 set and pre-ordered me Amigo for me, so there's 2 more on the way. I've got lots of pictures as well to take, which I'm taking today in the sunshine so my phone don't stop overheating. I've had to put it in the freezer several times already. So I'll get a load of pictures up on the page. Apologies, I've not been doing much because I've been doing this and keeping the garden, making the garden look lovely, and it's come out really, really nice. Still no update, unfortunately, on my man cave, which will be September the 30th. So we've created a football pitch at the back of the garden for Rafe to play on instead for the time being. So, like I said, please thank you for the love on the pages as always. Keep an eye out as well for the Q&A as we plan to do it going forward. All the best, and I'll speak to you soon.